I'm so sorry. It's her dinner time, so she's like super needy. Hey guys, how you going? Welcome back. I know it's been a hot minute since I've uploaded a video, but if you don't know me, my name's Ash, aka Smash, and this is my knitting podcast where I just talk about all things knitting and sometimes life stuff. Talking about life stuff, actually, I'm sorry I haven't uploaded a video in a little bit. I got COVID, so I was out of commission for a bit. I was really unwell. I didn't have a voice. I was bedridden most of the time, but now I'm okay. I'm recovering. I, have my voice. I still got a little bit of a cough, but it's nothing too major. I'm pretty much functioning at 100% almost. Yeah. So that's where I've been. Even though I've been sick, I have had a lot of opportunities to kind of knit and stuff like that. So I've got a few things to show you. A few finished objects, quite a few gift knits actually, and then a new cast on that I've recently started. So I wanted to start by saying a big thank you to everyone that has been watching these videos, that has subscribed, that has, followed me on Instagram. It means a lot to me. I'm so happy to say that we are, over 100 subscribers here. I thought that it would take a lot longer to get to this point, but I'm just so happy and grateful to everyone who's supporting me out there. So as a kind of a thank you, and to, this is the gift giving season, I wanted to do a giveaway. So the giveaway is it's worldwide, so wherever you are in the world, I'll be happy to cover the cost of shipping to you. And all you have to do to be eligible for the giveaway is to be subscribed to this channel, follow me on my Instagram, which will be linked down below, and just leave a comment saying what was your favorite knit this year. So what you enjoyed most. It doesn't have to be a finished object. It can be one that you just started. Anything like that. Just what was your favorite knit of 2023, considering we're getting so close to the end of it. So let me show you the goodies that I've got. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you in the giveaway is probably very much the showstopper of the giveaway, but I'm going to show it first because how could you not, is this. So these are 2 skeins of Hedgehog Fibres sock yarn in the colorway Sugar. It is, they are so beautiful. Now these are 100 grams each. So you get 400 meters in a skein, so it's a total of 800 meters, and they are 90% merino wool and 10% nylon. I just love them. They are so pretty. Now when trying to figure out what kind of yarn and what color I was going to pick for this giveaway, I wanted it to be something that reflected my own personal style, but also something that was still wearable. I didn't want to go like crazy full neon, full color, because I know a lot of people wear those colors, but I still wanted to have some sort of color, and I think this Sugar colorway is just perfect for that. It's so pretty. It's got pretty much all the colors, and then it's got speckles of pink, purple, orange throughout, and it's got a little bit of like kind of creams where the other colors have mixed in between. It's so beautiful. Now I bought this from Little Woolies, which is in Hastings, which is just over an hour out of Melbourne, and the lovely lady there informed me that Sugar, which is this color, is one of the colors that they regularly produce, Hedgehog Fibres. So if you did want to buy an extra skein of this, you can, whoever wins the giveaway, because I only bought 2 skeins because I thought that's enough to make, socks in a beanie or a shawl or something like that. But if you did want to make a bigger project, you can buy an extra one if you like. So that's the first thing. The second thing are some little things. These are some gorgeous little heart stitch markers from Tulip. And then this here is a knitting needle gauge. So these were both purchased from Loom Spindle. They're part of the Tulip range, and they're just so cute. I have a knitting needle gauge myself. It's a little wooden one that I picked up from market maybe nearly a year ago, and I use it all the time. I use wood needles, so they're notorious for the needle sizes rubbing off, and this is so helpful when you're trying to determine what the needle size is, or even trying to figure out what gauge of a yarn it is, because I know that 8 ply doesn't necessarily mean DK. And then stitch markers, you can't go wrong. You could always need stitch markers. These are so cute because they're little hearts. Oh, they're so cute, and they're the little like snap locky ones, so you can take them out and put them into projects, no worries. So that's so good. And to house all of this goodie stuff is a beautiful project bag. So this project bag is from Loom Spindle as well. This one features black cockatoos, which are native to Australia, and Banksias, and some beautiful foliage. Oh my god, how do you spell it? Foliage? I don't know. And it's so pretty. I thought it actually matched really well with the color scheme of the yarn, because it's got like the pinks in there as well, the peachy pinks. And this is just an easy peasy drawstring bag that you can house all of your goodies in. So I'm so obsessed with this. I have one myself. I have it in like a Banksia print, and it's just really good medium size project bag. I feel like you can fit like a top, like I'm doing a cushion cover at the moment, which you'll see, and that fits in there easily with like 4 balls, 450-gram balls. So you can fit quite a lot in there. There you go. It fully closes. I just had the tag in there. And yeah, that's everything in the giveaway. So I hope you are excited, because I'm excited to give this away, and it's open to everyone in the world. I'm happy to pay for shipping. I just want someone to love it. And like I said before, all you have to do is be subscribed, follow my Instagram, and then leave a comment down below telling me what your favorite knitting project is this year. So it's very simple. So I just wanted to do it as a big thank you to everyone who supported me. It means the world. So I'm just so grateful, and I just feel so generous because you guys have been so generous with me. So thank you so much. So let's get into what I have been knitting on. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is my Eva cardigan. Now I have stopped in the middle of a row. I've just realized that, and that might make things a bit more complicated to show you, but hopefully, is it at the back? It's on the side back. Okay, it might be all right as long as it's not in the front. But oh my god, the cat comes to say hello. Hi, Bagel. Hey, Baba. Yeah, this is Bagel. If you haven't already met her, she made actually one appearance in my first ever video. She's trying to steal my lip balm, so we're gonna move that over there. Hello, honey. Okay, fluffy tail. Alrighty, back to the knitting. So this is what I have done so far. So this is what I got. So I have split for sleeves officially quite a bit ago, and I've got about 3 inches on the underarm on the body so far. So now I'm just knitting in the body, knitting back and forth. Easy peasy, it's not that complicated. I actually tried this on yesterday because I hadn't tried it on probably since I originally split for sleeves, but because of the construction it kind of looked a bit funny. But it's looking really good. I'm actually so excited. I put this down for a long time, probably quite a few weeks, and haven't really touched it because I've been preoccupied with a lot of gift knitting. So trying it on yesterday really reignited my love for it and my kind of desire to knit on it more and more. So this is just, if you haven't seen the Eva cardigan, it's by PetiteKnit. It is a V-neck cardigan with 2x2 ribbing around the neckline, the bottom, and the sleeves. It's a slightly like oversized kind of fit. It's meant to be a bit loose, and I love how it looks, and I'm so excited to see how it all comes together. This is being knit. I'm knitting this in oh my god. Oh yeah, Peyton's Dreamtime Merino in 8 ply. in the color silver, and then I'm holding it together with Rico Creative, which is this Make It Tweed in multicolor. And this really kind of shows how awesome the tweed is looking. I'm loving it. I wonder if this is it kind of shows. I'm loving how the tweed looks. I couldn't be happier with this multicolor tweed, honestly. I'm so thrilled about it. You would not believe. I'm so happy. And even in the back, you can kind of see it better now. That beautiful kind of seam construction. It's not seamed, but it's knit to kind of look like it's seamed. It's so nice. So I'm really loving that. It's not that interesting at the moment, not very many interesting updates because I'm just knitting in the round at this point, but I'm really liking it so far. I feel like this, even though it looks complicated, it's not that complicated because the pattern's really straightforward. It goes through it really, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just kind of like the progression through the steps makes a lot of sense. You're not left kind of confused and trying to figure out, oh, what does she mean? It's kind of laid out logically, so you can kind of get an understanding of like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing next. So I've been enjoying that. I've only recently picked that up this week because it's kind of been on the back burner. Oh, gift knits. I literally thought I was not going to be doing gift knits this year. I've never gift knit before. And I don't know how I got roped into doing so many gift knits. I don't even know. That's been my whole life, I feel, for the last like 2 months has just been gift knitting. So you would have seen it in my last podcast episode was the Age of Brass and Steam shawl or kerchief or whatever by Orange Flower Yarn. Now I don't have that to show to you because I actually gave it to the person that I was gift knitting it for because she is leaving to go to India to visit her family over the Christmas period, so I can't show you it, but I will insert like a picture of it. I've got a picture of it blocking here. And it turned out fantastic. That was my first time making a shawl in that like triangular construction, and I really loved it. I'm definitely gonna make one for myself. I made it in this beautiful like light purple mohair from Gepard, and it's like just a nylon sock yarn from Heathermaid in the color Kaleidoscope, which was like this beautiful rainbowy color. You would have seen it in my last podcast episode if you had to watch that, but it's divine. I feel like the purple really brought out the beautiful lavenders in the yarn, and and it worked out really well. I think it was just ended up being really gorgeous, and she loved it. She's obsessed with it. I'm so happy she loves it because it was just one of those projects that I think, because the yarn combination, as well as I was making this for a friend, I actually thoroughly enjoyed making it. I think this is one of my favorite projects this year. It was really easy. It was simple, but it was, new enough with the eyelets and the purling to give me a bit of interest. I loved every minute of making that shawl. It took me probably about a week to make it, maybe just over a week. And yeah, I really love it. I think I've got like a skein of Owl of Athena in this kind of pinky rainbow. Oh, it's like a warmer pinky mixed colorway. And I think I'm going to try and get some like mohair or alpaca silk or something and make myself one because I really enjoyed making that shawl. So sorry I can't show it to you here in person, but I will, have inserted a little photo of it. So the next thing I have to show you is another gift knit. Now this one was the actual only one that was officially planned a lot in advance. These are some socks for my mum. So these are the Cider House socks by Summerlee Design Co. And oh my god, they're just a beautiful cable sock. They have 3x1 ribbing, I think, or 2x2 ribbing, I can't remember. I think it's 2x2 ribbing. at the cuff, and then they have these beautiful cables down the back and the front. It's a normal, just like a slip stitch heel, and then you continue with knit on the bottom and then the cables on the top. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up of the cables there. They're so cute. I love them. Now, I had been putting off making these for a while because I lost my cable needle, and then I found it in the washing machine, which I'm surprised it survived, and I'm also surprised that it didn't damage my washing machine because it was a metal cable needle, but it was very badly beaten up and scuffed and scratched, and I couldn't really use it. So I was waiting to buy another one before I made these, and I finally got one, and here they are. Now, I've knit these in Woolen Works sock in the colorway Birthday Balloons, which is kind of like a yellow, pink, and green variegated colorway. It's very, I don't know how to describe it. I feel like it does give Christmas, and I think the cables really add to the Christmas aesthetic, but it gives kind of like pastel Christmas. I don't know. My mum doesn't usually go for these colors, but I wanted to make something really feminine and pretty. She left it up to me to pick the design, to pick the color. The only thing she gave me in terms of information wise was her foot size. So we're just going with that. Now, I picked this up on that Crafternoon that I went to ages ago, where she had the discounted yarn. I bought 2 skeins of this because I love the color. So I was like, oh, if I'm making my mum a pair of socks, I'm going to make myself one of these. So that's how long I had been planning to make these socks. Over 6 months, and I left them to the last minute. Obviously, you're probably watching this being like, girl, I hope you ship them. I haven't shipped them. Mum's just gonna have to get them late, I'm afraid. So's mum. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. Now I'm gonna pull these off the sock blocker just for a moment, just so I can show you the front of these socks, because they have it looks like there's 4 separate cables, but it's actually 2 smaller cables and then a bigger one on the front, and I just think it's really looks so cute. Now, it's interesting because depending on what size you knit, depends if there's going to be additional cables in between. So if I was going to knit this, because my foot is a bit bigger and because my calves are a bit wider, there would be actually an additional column of ribbing in between the individual cables. If that makes sense. Yes, so it really depends on what size you're knitting, depends on the look that you're going to get. When I first knitted it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like the cables right next to each other, especially because they're on the front and the back and not on the sides. But after knitting them and finishing them and blocking them, I think they're really cute. I think they're so adorable. I think she will love them. Hopefully she doesn't watch this and see. Please don't watch. But I'm obsessed. Now, this yarn is really beautiful. I've used it before, but haven't actually finished a project with it and blocked it, and it is very soft. It is I think 75 or 80% merino wool, and then the remaining is nylon. I'll have all the information linked below, but it's so lovely. I'm really stoked with how they came out. I think they look adorable. I think they look so cute. Now, these are worked top down. I'm not a toe up girly. I like a clean cuff. So I love them so much. I'm definitely going to be using this pattern again and probably making myself socks, but not in the same color, because it was really good. A few things were a bit different, and I think that's because I'm a tried and true vanilla socks on 9-inch circular girly from Crazy Sock Lady. So anything compared to that that's different, I'm just like, whoa, this is crazy. But the same effect was achieved. The only thing that was a bit annoying was I kept ending up when I got to, after I did the heel flap and then I was decreasing for the heel turn, I kept ending up with less stitches. It was meant to have 18 stitches and I kept ending up with 16, and it happened on both socks, and I followed it to the actual to the T, because on the first one I was like, that's weird, it's different. And then on the second one, I followed the instructions exactly how it said, and I still ended up with less. I knew in the end it wasn't going to make that much a difference. A 2-stitch difference wasn't going to be the end of the world, because there was still going to be a total of, you know, the right total of stitches around the foot. But I was just a bit annoyed. I don't know, it just bothers me when I'm like, the stitch count is wrong, but I didn't want to like fix it. So I just left it and made it the same on both socks, so at least they're even. But that's my only gripe with this Spun pattern, was it just wasn't very clear when doing the heel turn why you were doing specific things. Yeah, it was just a bit odd. And you can kind of, I don't know, you can kind of see how it like goes in a little bit. It looks like that heel flap is a bit short towards the bottom. Yeah, I don't know if you can fully see that, but yeah. So those are my Cider socks. Okay, last gift knit. This is the last one. Again, I don't have it on me because I really had to rush. I feel like everything that I was doing for my Christmas gift knits were for events that were happening way before Christmas. So I had my final book club of the year, and I wanted to make something for all of the girls at book club. And then I also had my work Christmas party, and I wanted to make some gifts for everyone at work, because they all know that I bring my knitting to work, so it only made sense I talk about it all the time. But yes, so I wanted something small, I wanted something easy, I didn't want something that was going to take too long, so I decided to make some little knitted baubles. Now I don't have them with me here, however I did film some footage of me showing them, because right before I got COVID, I tried to sit down and film this podcast, but my phone kept turning off. I film on my phone and it just kept turning off and going all weird and just malfunctioning. So the footage was kind of all over the place, and I didn't like how the podcast ended up being. But I still have that footage of me showing the ornaments, even though you can't really, it's not very good, but hopefully I can insert that here so that you can kind of see what the ornaments look like while I talk about them. So the knitted Christmas ornaments is a pattern by Valya Boutenko, and they are a 3x1 knitted ornament. I'm so sorry, it's her dinner time, so she's like super needy. Usually I film early in the morning after she's been fed so that she doesn't bother us, but oh my god, I think it's also because I have a new couch and she feels like she needs to be very territorial about the couch. So I got rid of my beautiful velvet green one, but upscaled to this gorgeous corduroy one, which I scored on Facebook Marketplace for $100. So can't complain. And now she thinks that it's like we got it for her, so she's very confident walking around on it. So apologies for all the interruptions from the cat. But anyway, getting back to it. So it's a 3x1 ribbed ornament, and the pattern calls for, I think, like an 8-inch like an 8-inch ornament or a 7-inch ornament. My ornaments that I got from Spotlight, they were just like plain plastic ornaments. It was $10 for 6 of them. We're 6 inches in diameter, so I did have to modify the pattern slightly so that I could accommodate for the smaller circumference. That was really easy to do because the pattern is very, very simple. And when I say very, very simple, it's like I feel kind of dumb spending money on it. Like I spent like $6 buying this pattern. I was like, and then after I read it, I was like, oh, I literally could have done that. But anyway, it's fine because somebody else did the math for me, and then that's worth the $5 to me. But I literally had to read the pattern once, made one, determined that from that how I had to edit the stitch count, and easy, good to go after that. I didn't even have to read the pattern after the first one. It's that simple. The reason why I picked this one was because I didn't want to knit with DPNs, double pointed needles, around a bauble. So a few patterns that I saw that looked really good require you to like, you knit the first kind of like 1/3 or half, and then you slot it onto the actual bauble itself, and then you have to knit with DPNs around, like, on the bauble. And if you've watched a few of my videos, you know that I'm like not super enthusiastic about DPNs. But so I kind of like didn't want to do that and make it even less enjoyable for myself. So finding a pattern that you just have to knit it, and then because of the ribbing, it is so stretchy, and you just slide the bauble on and it cinches in around the top, and then you fold it over and it looks like a little kind of turtleneck. It's so cute. I was like, yep, that's the one for me. It uses fingering weight, and I had plenty. I just used a bunch of scrap yarn, like every sock, every single project I've made with fingering. I had so many like leftover scraps, like 20, 30, 40 gram little balls. So I just like went ham, made every color. Just, I think in the end I ended up making something like, what was it, like 8 plus 5, was it 13? I know I've got to make a few more. I think it ends up, yeah, like I'm probably going to make well over 15 of these little baubles, and they take about 3 hours to make. So about 2.5 to 3 hours to make, not too long. And I really like them. They're super effective. They're very cost effective, and everyone who I gave them to thought they were so cute and love them. So I definitely recommend knitting those, like if you're looking for something last minute, or to use up like scrap yarn, and you like have some DPNs. Easy peasy. I knit mine on 2.5 millimeter DPNs because that's what I have. The pattern calls for 2.25, but again, I could easily modify the stitch count and the size to accommodate that. It really wasn't difficult. As well as, like, I used those little baubles that you could put things in. I decided not to put things in because it was all kind of last minute, but if you did want to, like, that's another little cute thing that you could like put some chocolate or some, I don't know, M&Ms or Skittles, I don't know, anything literally in there, a little message, whatever, but they're really cute. So yeah, so that's the little baubles, and I made them all kind of themed. I tried to pick out of my yarn stash colorways that would relate to the person, like if they supported a certain sports team or they had a favorite color, I tried to match. So I feel like, you know, we all have scraps around. There's, you know, you really don't need a lot either, like you hardly need any because they're so small. It's so easy. So I'll definitely be doing those next year, but I will probably knit them like 6 months beforehand rather than only a few weeks leading up to Christmas, so that I'm not too strapped for time. But yeah, like it was very interesting too, because I thought, oh my god, I'm going to have to make all these and it's all going to be on DPNs, and you know how much I just loathe DPNs. But I found that I didn't actually mind knitting with DPNs, and I think one big thing that had to do with it was that they are smaller DPNs. So they're 15 millimeter, 15, yeah. They're 15 centimeter? Yeah, 15 centimeter DPNs. They're not 20 centimeter DPNs. I think that's where my issue with DPNs is, because when I do sleeves and stuff like that, and I have to use the 20 centimeter or 200 mil DPNs, I feel like, because the way that I knit, I like lean back and I'm very relaxed, they tend to like stab me and like it's so annoying. Whereas with the smaller ones, because I can hold them up in the air and they're not touching or grabbing onto or hooking, stabbing into my clothes and into me, it's not as bad of an experience. So I actually didn't mind knitting with the smaller DPNs. So like maybe that's my issue. Maybe every time I got to do cuffs, I got to get the smaller DPNs and not the bigger ones, because I think it didn't really bother me, which is such a surprise. Like I am the most surprised. I'm the most shocked about that. So yes. Alrighty, so this is the final thing I have to show you guys today. I've got it in my own Loom Spindle bags. This is one with the little Banksias. Now this I wasn't planning on casting on. I was actually looking at Laura Penrose's Sweet Shop blanket, and I had talked about it a few times here, but I kind of was a bit hesitant to start a blanket project. from my, what I've seen online, a lot of people talk about how blankets take a long time and how, they're usually like a whole year project. And I just didn't know if I wanted to commit myself to something that big so soon. I would feel bad. I feel like I would get like not very, I don't know, I feel like I'd get discouraged not having a finished object because I'm just so impatient. But I do really, really like the concept of like these short row squares and being able to use up the scrap yarn. And I just love the overall design. I love Laura Penrose. I watched her podcast. She's so creative and so funny. And I was watching and I saw that she was going to release a cushion cover pattern using the same technique. And I thought, this is perfect. This is exactly kind of what I need to do. It's an introduction into the technique of doing the short rows this way, but it's also not too big of a project. So I decided to cast on the Stella Quilt cushion. Now, I again wasn't planning on doing this, but because I got the new couch, I was very, very excited to decorate it. So I thought, screw it, stuff it, I'm going to start it. And I did. And this is how far I've gotten so far. This is what I got. So I am nearly halfway through the front cover. The way this is constructed is you start off with like your main panel and you knit from like one corner of the square to the next using short rows, which creates this kind of diagonal effect. And what that is doing is creating like even tension because it's on the bias. So I don't know if you're familiar. I'm not super familiar, so like I might be butchering this, but when it comes to creating clothing and fabric, the way that the fabric is woven is strongest when it's along like the diagonal instead of like vertical and horizontal. And so I think designers tend to cut pieces out of fabric that way so that it doesn't stretch or so that it's more structurally rigid or like strong. And I guess this was the kind of the idea behind like doing it like this rather than knitting little squares like that. It was that it enables you to have this cushion cover that's not going to stretch out too much or get saggy or look bad, and also create these really awesome color triangles which kind of mimic the look of quilts. So another thing that's very appealing about this pattern is that there's no seaming. You can, if you want to, knit the squares individually and then seam them together if you don't know kind of what color you want to put next to each other. However, the way that she writes it in the pattern is you pick up stitches each square as you go so that you don't have to seam, and it looks really good. So this is what I got so far. So I'll go through the colors with you. The first one is this white color. Now this is just 4 Seasons pure wool in the color white. I just bought this from Spotlight. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on the main color, especially because I'm going to be using most of it on a cushion cover. I'd still something I'm going to wear, so it doesn't have to be terribly soft. It's not super rustic, but it's not as soft as all the other yarns in the rest of the cushion. The next one is Millpost Merino in the color green. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. I should note as well that I decided to knit the DK version. The next one you would recognize because this is Woolen Works DK Merino in the color San Fran Flowers, and I use this for my Friday slipover. And I had quite a bit left over, so I knew that I was going to have enough for this. And then the blue, this color here is Knit Picks palette in the color Bluebell. Technically this isn't leftover scraps. I have it already in my stash. I haven't made anything out of it yet. I was going to make the Eva Cardigan, but I didn't end up doing that. So I've just kind of got it at like a sweater quantity sitting there, but I really love the color, so I wanted to use that. And then this is Seniscan Double Sunday in the color That Orange Feeling, and I had this left over from when I made my my hipster hat. And then I also had a couple of skeins left over because I was going to make like fingerless gloves, but I never got around to it. So I think this is going to be so cute. So this is kind of like a star pattern. There'll be another like triangle here of the orange color, and it creates this beautiful star. I think it's called I don't know if it's called, there's two different designs. So there's this design, which is kind of like a star made out of diamonds, and then there's another one that has like a square in the middle and then star points off it. But I chose to use this one because I thought it was going to be super cute. I'm super obsessed with it. It's very fast. It's kind of potato chippy or popcorny, as they say, where when you do one square or like one triangle, you just want to do the next and the next and the next and the next. So I think I only started this like a few days ago and I've already gotten this far. I really, really love it. And I love the colors together. I love bright colors. Even though these necessarily don't mix in too much with my decor, I think they're fantastic. The only thing that I have been kind of finding a bit difficult is that because I tend to knit while I watch TV or, you know, I'm multitasking, I feel like maybe sometimes I've been like missing a decrease or an increase, and so my squares haven't been completely even or haven't been exactly the size that they've needed to be. So when I go to pick up stitches for the next square, I'm struggling to get like the number of stitches I'm meant to be picking up, and so it kind of looks a little uneven. You can't really tell from far away, but when I tried to pick up the stitches for the square that's meant to be in here, it looked super wonky. So I don't really know what I'm going to do about that. But I guess that's the benefit of this, is because you're knitting it square by square. If you want to like rip out a part, you're just ripping out a square. It's not like you have to go back and do the whole other thing. Now, Laura Penrose does recommend you weaving your ends after you do each square so that you're not left with a bunch of ends, but I'm kind of lazy and I'm kind of doing it like each row I then weave in all the ends. Yeah, which is kind of annoying, but it's really not the worst because you don't have to seam anything up. But I'm really, really liking it so far. I think this is going to turn out really fantastic. I don't know if I will be... I bought enough yarn in the white yarn to knit like 2 cushions, to have them one on each side of the couch. But I don't know if I'll end up knitting the second one straight away, only because I am getting a little bit frustrated with me when I'm like with myself when I'm picking up the stitches and not having the right count. Or yeah, I just feel like nearly every single square I've done, my stitch count either at the end, at the end just tends to be wrong, or if it is right, when I go to pick up stitches in the next one, it just isn't the same. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm trying to concentrate. I'm like, I literally like mark down every time I do a decrease, increase and everything like that. So I don't know why it's looking so janky, but hopefully once it's on a cushion, it won't look too bad. Far away, it doesn't look bad. You're going to be like, oh, it doesn't look bad. I know, but I feel like I'm extra critical of my own work because I can see it up close. But yeah. Also, it probably doesn't help that I'm definitely off gauge. So I think it's meant to be... like 22 stitches. Yeah, 22 stitches across per 10 centimeters, and I think I'm like 20, so I'm definitely off gauge. From how I've measured it, it won't be fitting. It's like designed, it's meant to fit a 50-inch cushion cover. It will be way too big for that, so I think I'm going to shove this on a 65-inch cushion cover. And I think that'll be all right because it gives it a little bit, because this is meant to have about like 10 centimeters or so of negative ease. So I think it's going to be fine on a 65-inch cushion cover. It'll just be a big cushion cover. But I've definitely got enough yarn. I bought definitely more than enough yarn in terms of the white to be able to do that back panel. So that'll be fun. I'm interested to see how that goes. I wonder if we pick up stitches for that or if we knit it and seam it. I don't know. I'm not too sure. There's also an option for you if you don't want to like seam it up, because if you want to take the cushion out to make like a folded little slip over the back, like a folded lip. I don't know. You know, when you like on the inside of your pillowcases for your bed, there's like that panel that's like a partition that covers the pillow. Kind of that. She has an option to make that. I don't think I'll bother making that. I think I'll just end up seaming it up. I'm lazy. I don't want to do any more knitting than I have to do before I get to finish. I don't really want to do. But yeah, that's everything I have to show so far. Thanks so much for watching and listening. And I hope everyone has a really great holiday and a really good New Year's. I'm very excited for this giveaway as well. Like I said before, if you like and subscribe and you follow my Instagram and leave me a comment down below telling me about your favorite knitting project this year, you can go in the run to win the prize. Now, I will be announcing in my next podcast episode, which will be in approximately like 1 to 2 weeks, the winner. I will mention their name up on the screen, and then they will be the ones to contact me via my email. I will not be contacting them directly. So if you get anyone contacting you saying that you've won a giveaway from me, that's not true. You'll be the one contacting me if you win it. So thank you so much. See you later, and I can't wait to see you in the new year. Bye.